In the event of a water damage emergency, call PuroClean of Cenla.
No matter the weather, Alexandria Emergency Hospital is always here for you. Rain or shine, our doors are open 24/7 to provide the care you and your loved ones need fast. Every second counts, and Alexandria Emergency Hospital is here to help you through any storm.
Hey everybody, good morning. It's nasty out there. Dew point's 80 in Natchitoches. That was at last check. That was what I posted. And why are your windows all steamed up and all that stuff? Because they're very cool, because I'm guessing your air conditioner's running and that warmer, much more moisture-laden air outside just condensates right on there. That's the way it all works, and we're seeing that this morning because I'm guessing your house is cooler than the dew point of 77 in Alexandria or 80 up in Natchitoches. Now, if you keep it at 85, then you're looking good this morning. Good morning, all. Let's talk weather here. We have some pretty nasty looking skies in Natchitoches looking across Sibley Lake there. You'll probably see the storms a little bit earlier today looking down from the Rapides Regional Medical Center camera over the Red River. It looks cloudy, and you can almost see the humidity out there this morning, and we're going to see thunderstorms. We already are up to the north, some storms just along and north of I-20, more rain out into Texas. I'll take you in closer and show you what the local view looks like, and you can see again storms just now approaching Monroe, some strong storms, nothing severe just yet. We have that marginal risk for severe weather for today, and I do think we are going to see a few warnings out of this. So that's what it looks like on the local radars. This is when we have like the Fort Polk radar going. You can't see the stuff that's out there near Dallas, but you see it approaching there because the radar beam, it's going to get too high and shoot right over the top of that. That's why these local radars are great for local detail, but we're not going to be looking long range. That's where we have to ask for help from some other radars. So it's a little cooler up north where it's already starting to rain or the outflow is through, but Lafayette at 9 a.m. on September 24th is 85, 81 here in Alexandria. Dew points, again, 80. Lake Charles, Natchitoches, these have adjusted upward a little bit. 78 in Leesville, 77 Alexandria. It's really, really humid out there. Those like some stations, some people do like the muggy meter or whatever, and usually it stops around 70. And it's like above 70, it's all just nasty. But when you get toward 80, that's just another layer of nasty. And we're going to see big improvement on this. So don't worry. It's going to get better. Nice southerly flow right over the Gulf. That's bringing us lots of moisture. And you can see we're going to see storms forming ahead of that main line. And then the main line of storms comes through. And then possibly we could maybe see another round of storms developing. You can kind of see that happening in the wind field there after midnight. Now, I don't think that one's going to be too widespread if it happens. But here's what we're looking at for the day. The planner is pretty wet. It's not going to rain all day, but I think chances for storms really come up afternoon, and that's going to hold temperatures in the mid to upper 80s for today. So before we get into that, let's take a look at the tropics. We have some interesting stuff out here, nothing that's going to impact us, but I think it's pretty cool to talk about this stuff. So we have two systems that are probably going to develop. And what I think is going to happen here is this one on the left here, it's going to be weaker. This one right here, that's going to be your dominant system. And we're going to see these systems. You're going to see the word Fujiwara out there a lot. That's when you have two tropical systems that are close enough to kind of impact each other's path. And we're going to see these modulate each other's path. And it's like what we saw with Laura and Marco. It can be really tough to forecast these things when you have the two storms interacting with each other, and I'll show you kind of what the GFS is saying about that because it's interesting to look at. But Gabrielle, Category 3 storm, 115 mile per hour winds. This is rocketing off toward the northeast. I'll show you that and everything else in just a second. But yeah, Gabrielle is going to shoot out there toward the east. It's going to eventually bring some rain and wind to Europe. So if you are headed to Casablanca or Lisbon, you might run into some rain and some wind. So here is, that's Gabrielle, again, getting caught up in those westerlies. You can see that thing moving out to sea or already over the sea, again moving further quickly, more quickly out to sea. And then we have our two systems down here. There is number one right there near the Bahamas. You see a little circulation there, and then another one off to the east. And these two are eventually going to, they're not going to join forces. I know a lot of times it's like, can they combine and become this super hurricane? No, that's not how it works. But watch on the GFS what at least this model is showing with us. So we have, it's kind of tough to pick out, but That's why I'm here. We have one system right here. That's going to be, again, I think the one on the east will be the dominant system. And then we have the other one here just to the east of the Bahamas. I'll put this in motion and you can see how they don't join forces so much as they're kind of competing. And then eventually, I think this one here is going to get slung more toward the north, which actually what might happen here, the circulation around the one over the Bahamas could help slingshot this one away from the United States mainland. And I think we would all be okay with that, especially the insurance companies. So that thing's going to kick off to the east, get out of here. And again, you'll be seeing posts about Fujiwara effects and things like that. Big words, all kinds of craziness and everything, but I think in the end, it probably protects the eastern seaboard. Marginal risk for severe weather for most of the state for today, and here is your HRRR future track through the next 15 hours. I took the shorter version here, so you can see how storms are going to fire up over the next couple of hours. They're going to become more widespread, and then we have that line of storms that's going to come in from the northwest. We're already seeing that. So scattered showers and storms along the line moving through. The HRRR really wants to weaken that line as it moves through. Then we get another round of storms over South Louisiana, most likely after midnight. So it all adds up to between about a ½ inch and 2 inches of rainfall. And let me tell you this, if you don't get rain out of this, it's sprinkler time. Because Friday through Tuesday is looking dry, mid-80s there. Friday and Saturday, overnight lows near 60. Tom, he went for upper 50s. I love it. 59 to start Sunday morning. Again, heading to church. Maybe you need long sleeves, a light jacket, something like that. But by the time you get out, it's going to be nice and toasty. So a little something for everyone. And beyond this, I see warm weather. I see anywhere from the mid-80s to the low 90s to start October. It's not too crazy out of the ordinary. That's only about 5-6 degrees above where we should be. And really, I don't see much in the way of rainfall from October 2nd to the 8th. So good morning, everyone. Good morning from Waterproof. Hopefully you're not waterproof today. I'm sure most of you need the rainfall. I need to look into where that name came from, you know. I'm sure it's very easily accessible, but Lit, if you know, let me know. All right, I'm going to get out of here for today. I'll record the hit for the 24-hour channel, run out and deliver to all the schools that I have to deliver to before any possible warnings, and I will dive on if we have warnings, and I think I might have to do that a little later today, and we'll talk about what's going on. But it's good to see y'all. Glad to have, look at it, 72. We actually have weather, so that's cool. My wife's alarm's going off. I guess that means I have to go. I'll see you later. Bye. It's not her alarm to wake up, by the way. She's been awake for a long time.